Hi, I would like to talk about something related to public administration. There are many subjects, there are many topics under this one big context. And there is something called as good governance. They did that in our country. They are doing everything as per the rules written in the Indian Constitution, and also they are able to carry out things very well. In the system itself is quite organized. You could see it very clearly. The legislative assembly, when you talk about the constituent, when you talk about that particular area, it was totally divided. Could see it is divided into many parts in order to govern well. It's related to wards. Why it is there? Why do we have to have the ward system, the councillors? Why do we have to have all these things? In order to sort out the public work, in order to govern, in order to make things easy. As simple as that. On the whole, if you consider the metropolitan, cosmopolitan area, the population is very high, and also the area also quite congested, and it's quite big, and they divided those things into legislative, under the constituent assembly, they categorized it according to the wards. They have elected few personals. If there is a ward, it is easy for the person to manage that particular small ward. It's quite easy. Why do we have to have that system? Why do we have to elect people? And why do we have to have all this organized hierarchical structure? As I told you, it is quite easy to manage that particular area. So what's going on? What do you see? It's not a very complicated topic. Of course, there were so many theories. There were so many theories and methodologies told by many philosophers and also many bureaucrats. So authority is related to the governance. Governance is not just related to the bureaucrats. There are people above the system. And why do we have to elect them? I told you about it. I just don't want to repeat it. Please try to understand few things. There are works before monsoon, after monsoon, while experiencing the monsoon. We could categorize things according to the seasons. And our country is having the monsoon system. We receive rainfall as per the northeast and southwest monsoon seasons. And also, everything is related to weather and climate. That is quite understandable. And also, we carry out things in the cities, in the very big cities, as well as in other urban areas, before monsoon, and while experiencing the monsoon, and after the monsoon. In rural area, that is different. The harvest will happen after the monsoon, after a few months of monsoon, and why do we have to understand this monsoon system and what is the connection between the governance and monsoon? What is there? It's very important. You could check with any personnel in the the public work department personnel. I'm talking about the bureaucrat. You can check with any bureaucrat in that particular office. They can talk about it. They can tell you why do they have to carry out a few things before the monsoon, while experiencing the monsoon, and after the monsoon. In cities, before the monsoon, they do all sort of repair work related to roads, related to EB, related to all sort of power supply system. They do all the maintenance work. Everything will be carried out before monsoon. You could see that. If you are in India, it is quite visible. If you are living in the city, it's the well-known concept. But what is the problem? Where do you feel, or what is there to bother about? Why should I have to acknowledge these things? Whatever they are doing should be appreciated, because they are doing it for our welfare, for the public. It's not just related to the development. It's related to the welfare. Of course, the development is related to the welfare, related to the maintenance, related to many things. So, when they are intended to do any sort of work, if they are able to announce it in prior, it will be very easy for the residents, for the people to get the awareness about what will be there, whether in the in the upcoming week or next month. If there is any notice board, that's the thing I want to tell you. The notice board system is there. Of course, they do paste it, they do announce it in papers and all. But you must understand one thing. The system is quite advanced now. There are so many ways to intimate the mass to get the notice about the public PWD related works related to roads. When you talk about it, when you are about to move, you are checking with the maps. There are so many diversions, and the whole area, whenever you move towards your office or any other place, you could see this board, this the men at work, and you are not permitted to cross this place, no entry. Could see all sort of boards. But how do we know about it? It should be announced via WhatsApp. If it is getting circulated through the councillor, then the people can get the message very easily. That's why the ward system is there. If there is any issue with the roads, with the power supply, or with the water supply, or any other thing related to the waste management, everything can be intimated or discussed with the councillor of that particular ward. And that's why the system is there. All of a sudden, I cannot simply get into the office of the legislative assembly member, or I cannot simply get into the office of PWD. Their job is, organized. They know every monsoon they are trying to do their best. They did their best. When you talk about the PWD department, and also on the whole, when you talk about the corporation, in every metropolitan, you could see the work before the monsoon, while experiencing the monsoon, and after the monsoon. The work will be divided in every year, and it will be carried out. That is quite organized. But they fail to make the announcement, or sometimes it's not easy for the people to get that particular message. So the ward system is there. When you pass this information to the councillor, he can circulate this message to the residents. That is quite possible. And there are so many public places where you can simply, create the signboard that can be operated by the solar system before the monsoon and after the monsoon, or with the power. The announcement can be done in the main public places of that particular ward. There might be many public places, right, in the ward itself. Parks, bus stops, or metro station. The playground. There are so many, even temple, close to the temple. I mean, that is what I would like to tell you. Either you can paste it close to the temple, or close to the playground. Somewhere in some public place in the ward itself, there should be the signpost, and you should announce the public work related information in prior, and you can intimate this information to the public, and you can carry out your work. This is quite easy. That's why we have this system, the ward system. And otherwise, how could you do it? And it's not at all easy for the public to commute or to carry out the day-to-day work. It's not easy for the children as well as for the old people. No, they just don't understand, or maybe they will not carry out, or they will not move here and there with full consciousness, awareness. So the children are quite playful, and the old When you talk about them, it's not easy for them to, walk or do their things on their own. Even then, if they try it out and if they are not having the idea about what's going on, it's not easy for them. So please try to understand these factors. We have the very best hierarchical system as well as the organized governance. Every system is working efficiently. The only point here is that they should make the prior announcement. The notice should be given. We must use the technologies. There are so many boards installed for the advertisements. There should be one board in each and every ward should announce the work related to the PWD or simply related to the development, anything related to renovation, repair, maintenance should be announced either by message or it's better to keep one signboard. There should be one in the LCD display. Now I could say LED display. There are so many technologies are available, and a very small 16 by 16 inches also very good. There should be one not just one. There should be at least 3 to 4 LED displays to announce the repair work, maintenance work, renovation, etc. etc. That's my kind and sincere request because it is related to the safety and when you talk about the development, that the main concern is related to the welfare. So when you talk about the safety and welfare of the public, you must announce the repair, renovation, maintenance work in prior, and you can do it by using the advanced technologies. And I could see a number of LED displays. Wherever it is possible, I could see it. When the private is able to do that sort of work, it's not quite tough for the government to handle the simple announcement via LED displays. You can install those LED displays in the main areas, in the public places, and also it can be fueled by the solar energy or by power or by both, and that's it. I will talk about many good governance related policies, theories later. Till then, take care. Bye bye.